Welcome to another episode of the Eating Experience. We are so excited that you decided to join us again. What we want to do is continue to talk about having vision and not just living. We'll be right back. Welcome back. So let's continue to talk about, having a vision and not just living, because we want to thrive, right?
Absolutely. That's what we do.
That's what we do, right?
I'm just saying.
We want to have those SMART goals. That's what we talked about in the episode before. Having smart goals, right?
How you say that S thing again? What is it?
Specific.
Oh, okay, there you go. Specific.
And then what? Measurable.
Attainable.
Attainable.
Right. And
time
sensitive. Make sure you can get it done.
But we think we forgot the R.
What's the R?
Realistic. We can't
realistic.
We can't spell smart.
Yeah. You can't be jumping out the. You got to have a goal where you're going to be able to get to it. I guess realistic is a good part, huh? I'm sorry. That was a smack goal then. I just did, right? That's what I thought. I said
you
smack.
Didn't do smack because there's no K or C either.
I said smacked.
Oh,
come on.
Smacked.
Y'all gonna have to pray for her so
we
she can keep up with me. So she can keep up with me. Keep up with me, sweet. Keep up with me.
We want to have SMART goals. And this segment, we want to tailor it to our marriage.
Yes.
How having goals for your marriage help you to thrive.
Yeah.
It helps to keep you on a path of actually going somewhere and moving together.
Yes, together.
And not separately, right?
Yes, absolutely. My wife is a goal-oriented, driven woman. I mean, she is the one. If you want to know goals, talk to this one. And when we first got married, I think we had a call. I felt like God had given us a call for our marriage, and it was, to really emulate God, what His church was, and
that's what you said,
and how to walk, right? Yeah. Well, 5, 7, 10 years down the road, she's like, okay, so what's our vision? And between living and life and kids, I was kind of like, I'm just trying to survive, trying to hang in there. And she didn't take that very well. Husbands of your wife ask you, listen to me, they ask you, what's the vision? You need to come up with something, because that means
something, and don't say I don't know.
It is on her mind.
Yes.
It's on her heart. You definitely don't want to say, well, hey, I'm just trying to make it.
Because how did I look at you?
Yeah, you looked at me. It was not a good look. You know that look. Y'all know that look when she look at you and you be like, oh, oops, I said something wrong. And it was at that moment I knew it was about to go down. That's exactly what happened. But so from then I really took that as a challenge, because when you first get married, you are so into it, right?
Especially if you get married young.
Yeah,
we got married at the age of 20. I was 25. And
I was 23.
Yeah,
I was 22 going on 23. So it was very, very early. And we were real, we were motivated, right? We was just all into each other, the lovey-dovey, and got what he's going to do, because we hadn't started anything
right
yet, right? So we were looking forward, and we were pouring in. I felt like I was really pouring in. But, as time happens and things go, which we're going to talk about a lot of that, you kind of fall off.
Yeah.
It just becomes life.
Yeah,
just doing life.
You're just living.
Yep, you're just living. Hey.
You are just living.
You're just living.
And that's what we were doing. We were just living.
We were just living. We're just going to work, taking care of kids, and we kind of lost that. But when you asked me, when she asked me, I was challenged, and we had to sit down and really think through some things. And what were we doing? Why were we here?
Right.
What were we going for? Right. And what were we going toward?
Right. Because I believe at that time when I asked you, we had just moved to Houston.
Yep.
So we have made this big shift in our life, from being in Atlanta for what, 19? No, not 19, 9.
Hold on.
9 years being in Atlanta and moving to a new city with no family, no friends, just us and our 3 girls. It was like I need to know where we're going.
Yeah, it was a shock. It was a huge
What are we
shock.
doing?
Yeah, it was a huge. I think the change was good. Because
Most definitely.
in Atlanta we were just living.
Yeah.
You know, we were just on a
It
schedule.
was like a hamster
Yeah,
in
like
the
a hamster
wheel.
on the wheel,
Constantly
right?
turning,
we
constantly
had
going.
we had responsibilities.
Yeah.
We had things going on. We were involved in the church. You know, we
Mm-hmm.
were leading things, but we were on this hamster wheel,
Mm-hmm.
and it was just like we were moving, but we weren't going nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
It was just a lot of activity, but no forward progress.
Right.
It's like the treadmill. You know, you got a whole lot going on, but you ain't going nowhere. You're still in the same spot you was. And so I think that move to Houston really shook us.
Yeah.
Right. And really caused us to really reevaluate
You're
where
right.
we were and what we were doing.
You're right.
And why we were doing what we were doing.
Exactly.
And so we sat down and I went back to the drawing board. You know, she was upset. You know, she was red. You know, I know she's red bone, but she wasn't red bone from being that. She was red from being angry, and it wasn't pleasant. So I had to really gut check.
Yeah, and the reason why is because, I mean, he's the head of my household. So the head of the household should be the one leading us. He should, and this is just what I believe, you know, but he should be the one to have the vision for our family.
Yeah.
Since he's the head.
Yeah.
He falls up under God.
Yeah.
So by him taking that leadership role, he should be guiding us. And when I asked, where are we going? And he couldn't tell me, because here we go, I'm a strong-willed woman, and I'll take that thing and we'll go somewhere.
Yes,
But
you will.
I wanted to respect the position
Hey.
that my husband has, that God has given him, you know, for our marriage and for our family.
And I honor you for that. Like, I truly do, because it's very seldom that you hear that somebody wanted to respect the role, respect the office. You see what I'm saying? Whether they're performing or not, you know, but to honor that, and I honor you for that, because you could have steamrolled ahead. I know.
And you
my
know
wife.
I would
Yeah,
have.
She's like, she's like, I don't know if you're gonna catch up, but this where we going. You know, get on board or get off board. And so that really, it charged me, right? And I thank God that I didn't take it as an offense. Although my initial was probably a little like, who is you type thing. But as you sit down and you think through and let God really marinate, he's like, yeah, she's speaking to you. And so we need to do some things. And so that's what we did. So that's what I did. I took a pause and really sat down and really started thinking and trying to figure out what were we doing? Where are we going? What, especially now being in Houston, why did we move to Houston, right? Where are we going now that we're in Houston? And so it was a jolt for me, and I appreciated you for that. Appreciated allowing God to speak to you through that, and so we started on the journey.
Yeah.
We're still on the journey. We're still thriving.
It was still thriving.
So we were moving pretty good.
Yeah, I like that you said that, you know, we took a pause, and we took that pause, or you took that pause, right, to really just consider and think about what God was saying, or what the direction God wants us to go into.
Absolutely.
As a family, for the family, and then just as for our marriage, right? So we're going to take a pause here.
Okay.
We'll be right back. Welcome back. So we took a pause, right?
We did.
And you was just saying how, you know, we set those goals, or, you know, actually you had to consult
figure out.
and figure out
Figure out
like,
what was going on.
right, and how you were going to lead the family, or how you were going to lead the marriage.
Really our marriage, you know, because it was more of us, right? Because I think it was during our anniversary. And you looked at me with them dagger eyes, you know, was asking where we're going. And so I really had to ponder that, like, where are we going? And so I did, and I thought about it, figured out what we were doing, things that were important to us, and how we were moving. And so I just came up with some categories, you know, time together with us, how important is that and what we're going to do in that space. And so first thing off, I know my wife would always ask me, we need to go on a date night. We're going to have a date night. The date night, we need to get away from the kids. We need to go do this. And I'll say, yeah, I'm going to set up some date nights, and it will come and go.
Yeah,
right?
you're right.
But nothing would happen. And so I know that was one of the first things, because time alone together for us is I think is critical for any
right, I was about to say that's for
marriage.
Any marriage. Time alone is critical.
Because the kids will suck it up.
And
they would
the
take
kid's
over
going to
everything.
leave one
Yep.
day, and it's just going to be you two.
Yep. And we don't
So
want to be empty nesters and not know who this person is. I'm
Right,
looking at.
and can't get along and
Yep.
all
Yep.
of that, because we are constantly evolving
Absolutely.
and changing.
Yeah, so we did that, and so we set up a date night, set up date night schedule to make sure we were going to do anything that was important to us. We then start talking about, in order for us to move forward, we talked financially. My wife is a financial guru. Like, I know we talk.
No, I'm not a financial guru.
In
I
our
just
house.
handle the finances in our house.
In our house, she's the
There we go.
financial guru. Let me just make that plain.
I just know where the money's going
Yep.
and how it's
And she know how
coming
to
in.
get it there.
And I know how to make it work.
Yep, know how to make it work. I know a lot of traditional households. If you've seen our old episodes, we ain't traditional. We don't operate that way.
Making it work for us,
yep,
right?
make it work for us. She knows how to move stuff and all this jazz and get it to where it needs to be. And I just praise Jesus and I say, hey, can we go do X? Yes, we can. Okay, let's rock and roll. So that works for us. But not only that, we took it a step further. Like, hey, we want to use what we have,
Yeah.
right, to glorify God. Like, so what are we doing with this, right? So how are we giving this? Who are we giving it to? Can we give it to someone else? Because generosity is huge on our thing, on our list. Being able to give and to help those that we can't help. And not only that, getting out of debt. See, debt was one of the biggest issues,
Right.
because you can't give what you don't have.
So these are all the things you were thinking about?
Yep.
Okay.
All the things. Yes, the things I was thinking about.
Okay. Well, you haven't let me in your head until now, so I'm like, okay.
Oh, you just figuring out how they came up with all these things? Oh, well, welcome to the eating experience.
Jokes. Okay.
Yeah, so in order to do that, Scripture talks about that being slavery. And I was like, and so I want to be a slave. I don't want us to be slaves. I want to be free to move our money around as we need to. And so went after that. And then, of course, I also talked about leading, having those times where we prayed together, times where we get in the Word together. She's been asking me about that, and I just kind of like, it just come and go, or I'll help her here or help her there, but it wasn't.
So actually what I was doing is pushing you into that leadership role.
No, God
as you
was pushing me. God did the pushing, but He used you as the springboard.
Oh, your helpmeet.
to help me. Heck,
Yes.
to help me get to that space.
Okay.
That's what it was.
All
So
right.
it's kind of like this. People say men wrote the Bible,
Why
right?
did your voice change?
Yeah, because I'm have to try to explain to the people, People say men wrote the Bible, And so I asked them, well, okay, write something down. So they'll get a pen, they'll write it. And then I'll ask them, who wrote that? You know what they'll say? I did. I said, no, you didn't. I said, the pen wrote that. I said, all it did was your thoughts were translated through the pen onto the paper. Same thing like that. Same thing like this. So God wanted me to get moving, so He just used you as the vessel so that we can get the goals going.
Okay, I'll let you have that. I'll let you have that.
But then also, travel was huge. My
Yes.
wife likes us to travel.
Loves to travel.
That's something big for her. So we want to make that something that we're going after. And health.
Yes.
My wife is a nutritionist. And so I had to do something in that realm of our bodies, making sure we exercise, making sure we have things going tied to that, funds that are allocated for that and things like that so we can move that way. But really, the crux of it was, I think, for us, was spiritually as a unit.
Yes.
God has a gift on my wife, an amazing gift on my wife, and one on me. And so what are we doing with that? And where are we going to go? How are we going to glorify Him in what He's given us, right? That's still unfolding.
Yes, it is.
It's still unfolding.
It is.
But I know we're moving towards that.
Yes.
And can I just help the people with something?
Please.
I know we're talking about family, but I just want to help somebody while I help myself. We talk about what is God's plan for my life, right? And I've learned that if you ask the wrong question, you'll get the wrong answer. And so the question is, what is God's will, and where is my life in relation to that? And so a lot of times we try to wait for God to come out the sky and tell us, I want you to go do X, Y, or Z. But however, he's already lined out X, Y, and Z. Therefore, we align ourselves under X, Y, and Z. And as we're doing X, Y, and Z, what we're supposed to do not magically, but I think divinely appears to where we're supposed to be going. We have natural instincts, natural joys, natural things that happen in our lives. And so naturally we'll gravitate to something and away from something else. But we need to be doing what he's asked us to do. Very similar to our family. We were operating in his will. You know, are we following what he's called us to do? And as we do that, we move ahead and things come. You know, in order for God to lead you, you got to be moving.
You have to be moving, right?
I like that. You said, they said, order my steps, God, but they sit like this. Like wait
for him to do something.
Would you move?
But you have to move.
Right.
You have to move.
Because you got to move so he can order and direct. He can't direct something that's
right.
not
So
moving.
even, in all of that and us trying to develop our vision for our marriage, we had to communicate.
Yeah, absolutely.
So after you sat down, it's like, okay, this is something that, we need to do.
Yep.
And you kind of just pinpointed like what it is, the different areas we need to look at. We had to communicate.
Yes, we did. We had to talk about it.
We had to talk about it, right?
We got to be on the same page.
That's right.
How can two people walk together and they're not joined?
Exactly.
If they're not on the same mind.
Exactly.
be one.
So we talked about it to create our vision for our marriage so that our marriage will no longer just be living.
Right.
And we can be thriving.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
We'll be right back. Welcome back. So we were talking about, how we have to communicate when we're making our vision goals for our marriage. Just like, if you're single and you making vision goals, you still have to communicate. You still want that team that's gonna support you.
Absolutely.
That group of people who's gonna stand by you and not let you give up on your goals, right?
Absolutely.
So we have to communicate with each other and say, this is what we want to accomplish this year. This is how we want to move this year to make it happen. And even in that, some sacrifices will have to be made. But we didn't only have to communicate with each other, we had to also communicate with our kids. Because they're a part of this. Even though this was the vision for our marriage, as we're moving, it affects them. It affects their plans. It affects even the vision that they've created for themselves.
Absolutely.
So we had to come together even as a family to talk about, okay, this is what mom and dad wants to accomplish this year.
This is what we're working on.
Right.
This is what we're going to be doing.
Right.
This is what you're going to see. So, like for instance, for example, date night, right? So we'd say, hey, we're going to be having date nights on Fridays, right? Every Friday, every other Friday. And you should have seen the eye rolls. Some people, but that's the day I have to do.
Yeah.
And that's the day that I have to do. I mean, so we were trying to attack these goals and really walk in line with what we desired to do and what we felt God was leading us to do, there were roadblocks.
Right.
There were things that pop up that would really try to knock us off of the rockers. Not going to be a cakewalk, right? And so one of those things is kids.
Yes. Yes,
I think
kids.
I think kids are roadblocks to a whole lot of stuff, but that's just my own personal opinion. I love them with all my heart, but okay. I digress. I apologize. I digress. Go ahead.
But yes, kids can be roadblocks because they're involved.
Yep.
Our kids are heavily involved in activities outside of the home. And they want to be with their friends on Friday, especially we have a high schooler.
Yep.
She wants to be with her friends on Friday night. So to help us help her, we had to compromise on some things. We couldn't do a date night every Friday.
Right.
Maybe twice a month, every other Friday, and we would put it on the calendar. You know, we have a family calendar that's up in the house.
Yep.
We also have our family calendar synced with our
Got
phones.
phones. Yep.
So we will put those events in the calendar. So when she's planning, and even our middle daughter, because she's starting to get very social,
Yeah.
they would look at the calendar like, well, no, mom and dad has date night tonight. You know, so I can't do something, and possibly ask their friends, well, can we move it to this weekend?
Right.
So there's compromising on both sides, right?
But the key is you have to not allow it to stop you. That's one of the keys. I know we always say our marriage is worth it. You know, if we aren't together, then it's not going to work. You know, the kids are going to suffer if me and you are not on the same page. If we're not there. So we didn't let anything stop us other than COVID-19, but that's a whole other discussion.
So our date nights, we have to, you know, be intentional about it, right? So we decided during COVID to put like a sign on the door because we couldn't go anywhere. Just put a sign on the door. It's like, okay, date night or do not disturb, and just have that quality time without anybody interrupting, even the dog.
Yeah, but they did. They tried.
Right, they tried, but I think they've come to understand that that's important time for mom and dad.
Yep, and that's one of the keys. I think we were on the same page. We made that decision, and so therefore, throughout the home, when we were saying the same thing, everybody else in the house understood that we were together and we were one on this, and that was non-negotiable. And so now they just sit at the door and they wait. You know, the dog will whimper at the door. They'll come by and we'll hear them scuttlebug by the door, but they know it's date night and they aren't coming in.
Right.
That's what we're doing for COVID right now. But when we leave, they know it's good, it's done. I think the other thing is just time.
Yes.
Right? That's a huge roadblock. We are busy. Everybody's busy.
Everybody's busy.
But for us,
this goes back to just being intentional.
Yep.
You have to be intentional.
Yep.
You have to carve out that time.
You make time.
Yeah.
I think we make time for what's important to us.
You're absolutely correct. I agree with that 100%.
We make time for what's important to us, and we believe this is the most important thing for us, for our family.
Right, because like I said earlier, when the kids are gone, we still got to be able to get along. We still got to like each other.
Right. I
You
love
know?
you, though. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Stay focused.
I love,
Stay focused.
oh, okay.
Roblox, remember?
My bad. Roblox. No, that's a squirrel. Squirrel, you know, that's what that was.
Roblox.
Roblox.
See? So this could be a Roblox too. This could be a Roblox too.
Squirrel brain. Yeah,
Squirrel
you're right.
brain.
Right. But yes, you definitely make time for what's important to you. And I think the other thing is put forth the effort.
Yes. Yes.
You got to put forth the effort, man. And I'm not going to put myself out there, but there have been some times where effort has been minimal on my side. And
But on my side too.
Yeah, I get it. But you
On
know,
my side too.
But you a baller with that. Like it comes effortlessly with you. Like that's your gift. She can do stuff, and you be like, how did you even think of that? Like what? But me, I have to sit and ponder. Like I got to put forth some real effort. But we're doing just whatever it is for us, and for what we want to do and our goals. But even not only just for date nights and things, but whatever the goal is, or whatever the situation is together, I think the effort, you have to put forth an effort.
Yes.
It's not going to happen
Right.
magically.
Right.
Like you just gonna close your eyes and like, oh Lord, please make this happen, and then go sit down.
Right. And I mean, we can tell, us women can really tell if you put some effort into what you're doing, or if you just, oh, nope, this will be fine. We can tell the difference.
Brothers, they got that sixth sense, man. Just put forth the effort.
Right. It'll make your life easier, right?
Put forth the effort.
Did you have to learn that the hard way?
Yes. As you can see, I had to learn it the hard way. Listen, let me tell you what a wise man once said. The best experience, the best teacher is not experience. The best teacher is somebody else's experience. So listen to me. Don't go through it the hard way, my brother. Put forth the effort. Think through it. So you hear me? You know, listen to her throughout the year, through the days, stuff that she's always talking about, that she's moaning about, that she may mention, that she giggles with her girls with. You know, I'm giving you all the secrets now. Listen to all that stuff and then write it down, because I have a pen and pad. I have a list in my phone. I'm telling you, I'm trying to help y'all out. Now, brothers, seriously, take it from me. Put forth the effort. Trust me. You'll thank me later.
Take it from him, and we'll be right back.
Let's be honest. Making a lukewarm marketing video is fairly simple. But who wants lukewarm marketing? Instead, how about something that conveys your unique message? Well, that takes creativity, and creative is what we are. We design custom logos. We even offer professional print services. Our goal is to showcase how good your idea is, no matter what your product is. Whether it's social media marketing for a new author or the artwork for the book itself, we can help. You've created a new app and need a TV commercial to show it to the world. We can help.
Now there's Stork Advisor.
If you're a photographer trying to show off your work in a unique way, we can help. Need a promo for your TV show? We can help with that too.
It's Couch Time with Sonia.
We're an artistic bunch and we love the creative process. We're not trying to be the best in Houston. We're trying to be the best for you.
Thank you so much for joining us for another episode of Vision, Not Just Living, Marriage Style. We want you to connect with us. So go to my website at shanaviaportis.com. We would love to hear from you. Until next time, let's get back to the basics.